The problem with lefties in America. This is actually a very, very big problem, and it's something that has been going on for a long, long time. These Marxists, these Antifas, these radical liberals, radical lefties, okay? Everybody wants to, bag on the right. Everybody wants to say the right are all racist and we're all, mean capitalists. We're all... When I say we, I don't necessarily identify with the right. I used to think I was a liberal when I was a young kid. I used to think, I'm liberal, and this was me growing up in a Republican area, Republican city, right? And then I left a Republican city. Now this is Washington State. I left a Republican city, and I moved to a very liberal city. I grew up in Spokane, Washington. Okay, it's very Republican. It's the second biggest city in Washington State. It's not a huge city, but it's the second biggest city, and it's mostly Republican. And I had a great childhood. It was great. People were nice. It was cool. There was no problems. Everything was good. Of course, every city has their issues, crime, whatever. But it was good. It was a good childhood. I like Republicans. Looking back, growing up, I thought, you know what? I'm liberal. I'm liberal. I'm a little. I didn't feel out of place there. I liked it. I had a great time, but I just kind of felt like I leaned liberal when I thought about my political affiliation. Okay, which is weird in and of itself to think that we have a political affiliation. Oh, what's your political affiliation? Like, what gang do you side with? Like, I'm just an American. And that's where I'm at now. I don't consider myself left or right, but I consider myself a centrist. I consider myself if anything, I'm a centrist libertarian, right? I want liberty. I want freedom. I want, everybody to be taken care of. I want there to be, enough money for people. I want there to be social systems to help sick people or help poor people, right? So I see things from both sides. I see the bullshit from the left. I see the bullshit from the right. The right doesn't ever want to take care of anybody. They want to do away with welfare. They want to, more money to big corporations and all this bullshit they're doing. And then the left with their PC identity politics bullshit and their liberal crap, right? I see shit from both sides. I consider myself a centrist, right? So I thought I was a liberal, though. I thought I was a liberal growing up in Republican Spokane. Then when I was 19, I moved to Seattle, which is the most liberal, I would say, outside of Portland, Oregon. Seattle is probably the most, if not, the number one most liberal city in America. Maybe New York. Maybe people would argue New York. Anyway, until I moved here, I thought I was a liberal. Then when I moved here, I was like, whoa, I'm not a liberal. Like, no. When I realized how these people really were and the hypocrisy, right? Now, both sides have hypocrisy. I just think that taken as a whole, the left is far worse than the right. Far worse as far as their hypocrisy, their double standards, their lies, their bureaucracy, which they claim the government's evil and all this crap, but yet they're the ones who use government to get what they want, legislation, and they're just insidious. Okay, now the reason why I like the right more than the left, but again, I'm not siding. I'm a centrist libertarian. But the reason why I like the right more than the left is because the right is more transparent. They're all liars. Okay, every political party is full of liars, full of people who are trying to get their own thing, full of people who are trying to manipulate. All right, but the right is more transparent, and at least they have traditional values. At least they have family values. Now, I hate that they want to take away checks and balances, or not checks and balances, social safety nets. I hate that they want to take away social safety nets. I hate that, about the right, because people need help. There needs to be welfare systems. Are there people who are abusing the welfare systems? Maybe, but people say, probably there are, yes, but people are saying that, statistically, more Republicans are actually beneficiaries of welfare than any liberals. So I don't know. And and again, this is all politics, and politics is full of lies. Politics is full of deception. Politics is evil, I think, to a really good extent. However, it's necessary that we have legislation. It's necessary in life for human life to subsist and to be order, that there needs to be laws and there needs to be ways of governance, right? But the problem is that everybody's trying to be against each other. Everybody is trying to push their program through. The liberals want this and the Republicans want that, and everybody is trying to get one up on the other. And that's when you have tribalism. And tribalism brings in exclusivity, and this brings in wars. So, you know, social wars and social infighting. And this is what we're seeing in America. We have now, if you really want to get into the conspiratorial aspect of it, are there people who are pulling strings from both sides who are behind the scenes? I would say, yeah. I would say you can do your Googles and you can do your research all about that. It's a left-right paradigm, and it's meant to keep us divided. It's a divisive concept from the very beginning. Maybe to some extent our forefathers knew what they were doing. There's probably more depth to that concept than we realize. But we are a republic. Our America is a democratic republic, whatever the hell that means. You know, and I'd say most people don't know what that means. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Like, what the hell is a republic? I know we're a democracy, meaning it's for the people, we vote. However, there's a republic. I don't know what the difference there is. I seriously don't. And I don't know how that plays out in real time, in real life. It's all fucked, man. I mean, politics is weird. It's layered. It's I think it's supposed to be like that on purpose, so a lot of fuck shit can go on, and people can get away with a lot of fuck shit. People can get away with a lot of, BS. People can get away with a lot of lies. People can get, it's like, where do all our tax dollars go? Where does all that money that the Fed prints out, where does that go? I have no idea. Does anybody know where our money goes? Does anybody know where our really where our taxes go? I don't know. It seems like to me it's a big racket. Anyway, the problem with the modern left. The problem with the modern left is that they are cultish. The problem with the modern left is that they are exclusive. The problem with the modern left is that they are brainwashed. They are a totalitarian cult. I think this because I see this. This is what I see. I see them repeating the same crap. And from a red pill perspective, and this is what I think I'm going to title this video, is the modern left from a red pill perspective. The modern left from a red pill perspective is this. I believe that the real manipulators, the real misogynists, the real chauvinists are the ones who are pretending to be feminists. That's what I believe. I believe the ones who are really trying to manipulate women. And this is why women can get no satisfaction. They can get no rest, because what they really want is they want a guy who's loyal. They want a guy who is consistent, and they want a guy who is not a liar. Now, do they themselves live up to those standards? Most of the time, no. And this is why they're so much always in consternation until they finally settle down and have something steady, which again, I talk about in a million videos, which is, it's just a guy who has good money, and that he's predictable, domesticated. Yeah, he's loyal, but he's not the guy that he's not her first choice. Let's put it that way. Most women settle for a guy who's just consistent in his bill paying and in his love for her, whatever, right? And that's what they settle for, because what really gets them excited is the guys that they have to chase. What really gets them excited is the guys who aren't consistent, the guys who don't pay bill, right? So they're never settled, because honestly, lefties don't have traditional values. That's the irony of the whole thing, is female nature wants traditional values. It's just they're being lied to by feminism. They're being lied to by this lie from radical feminism that males are inherently evil. Males are inherently chauvinistic. We are inherently toxic. Masculinity is toxic, and male leadership is a conspiracy to oppress women as a whole, and they call it the patriarchy. Sorry, men are just leaders. It's just what it is. There's no conspiracy. It's just what we do. We're expected to provide. The irony and the hypocrisy and the double standard is that women will attack us for being the patriarchy, but then they turn around and they want us to provide for them, which is nonsense. That's a double standard. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't say, oh, I'm equal to men, yet I also want men to provide for me. That doesn't work, ladies. And this is the nonsense and the bipolar craziness of the modern female, and particularly the modern feminists, which is so sad because really feminism just warps these young girls' minds. It just tells them that men are evil, but yet they love men and they're sexually attracted to men, yet men are evil. So they are constantly being in a state of consternation. They're constantly being, their emotions and their mentality is constantly being attacked by these lies, these feminist lies, which is that men are evil, right? Which is a lie. It's not true. Men are not evil. We just are provided. Now, are some men evil? Yes. Are some men manipulators? Yes. Are some men chauvinists? Yes. Are some men rapists? Yes. Are some men oppressive to women? Yes. Is there some men that really do abuse their power in a workplace or whatever to, oppress women or even sexually harass women or whatever? Yes, that goes on. But it's not across the board, and it's not a conspiratorial thing that like, yes, all men just want to grow up and oppress women. That's what they're being taught in feminism, and that's wrong, and that's sad because it really hurts a lot of young women. Now, this is why, if we're talking about the modern left from a red pill perspective, this is why I don't trust the left, and this is why the left is not to be trusted, is that it's a haven for manipulators, for male manipulators even. Now, it's not only is it a haven for women manipulators, because women use the victim card all the time. Oh, I'm a woman. I got that get out of jail free card. I don't get the same jail sentences as men. I don't get the same treatment as men. I'm a woman. I'm special. She's special when she wants to be treated special, but she's equal when she wants equal rights. You see, this is the female chameleon. This is the female predator. This is how women manipulate. This is how they manipulate men. This is how they manipulate society. Is they play a victim when they want to be a victim, when they want something, and then they pull the equal card out when they want something as well, right? So they play both sides of the coin. Now, men do this too. These lefty men, they do this too. They're not straightforward. This is why I say the modern left is a haven for manipulators and liars of all kinds, and I've met many lefty men who are just the same, and they feel like we're the enemy. That when I say we, I mean right. The people who are right-leaning, they feel like the right is the enemy, the right is the empire, and they're the resistance, right? They're Luke Skywalker and the resistance, and the right is the imperialistic, Darth Vader and the empire, right? It's just silliness, right? It's just silliness. There's no, that just doesn't exist. That's not a real thing. If anything, the real fascists are those on the left, because, they're the ones who say you have to conform to all our ideologies or else you're not with us. You have to agree with everything we agree with. Well, what if men aren't bad? What if we don't think men are inherently bad? What if we don't feel like that's true? Oh, well, we're against you. We're part of the oppressive empire, right? It's just nonsense. But from a red pill perspective, you can look at these lefty guys and say these guys are manipulators. These guys are wolves in sheep's clothing. They're pretending to be feminists. Just so they can get the benefits. Oh yes, I'm all for women's rights, so therefore I'm a female ally, and they don't want the truth. They don't want to tell the truth about women. They're not there to criticize women. They're there to pump women up and say, yeah, you can do no wrong. Yeah, so they can get sex, so they can get the benefits of the female being a slut. And this is the benefit of that. This is the lie of feminism, is that, oh, you can do whatever you want, baby, and it's all good. Just fuck me and suck me, and it's all good because you're a free female and nobody owns you and there's no consequence, right? That's where the lie is. That's what the wolf says to the sheep. Oh yeah, you're good. I'm your friend. That's what the wolf says to the sheep. I'm good. Let's go play. Let's just go out here and play. Let's just get away from the safety of the herd, and we'll just go out here and play. And then he eats the sheep. That's what these guys are doing. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. Oh yeah, you can sleep around. Yeah, you can have sex. Yeah, you just have an abortion. There's no, yeah, you're all good. It's all like, there's no such thing as STDs. There's no such thing as broken hearts. There's no such thing as consequences. There's no such thing as damaged ability to pair bond. I mean, come on, it goes on and on. All the consequences of that type of behavior. But this is the lie. That's how you know feminism is bullshit. That's how you know feminism is a lie, because it's founded upon lies. Men are not inherently evil. We built the society that allows women to be free. We're the ones who allowed women to vote. We're the ones who allowed women their freedom, and yet they want to turn around and stab us in the back. It makes no sense. And the reason why these lefty guys are against men, the reason why these lefty guys are for feminism, again, is because that's their only end. They're not inherently masculine men. They're not strong men. They're not honest men. They are men who are trying to get a leg up. They're men who are trying to get into women's pants, and they're doing it by saying, yeah, I'm all for it. And they live this lifestyle that's basically deception, right? So that's the problem with the modern left. That is the problem with the modern left. It's full of these type of people. It's full of these type of people who think communism is good, which is totally not. Never was. They want free benefits and things like that. Now, it's like, if you're sick or you need help, yeah, I think we should have benefits. But, to say, you don't have to work, or to say you don't have to do anything in life, you don't have any responsibility, which is what these communist people think. They think, oh, it's all, all things are common, it's all good, where, there's no evil capitalists, there's no evil millionaires. Now, maybe that is an issue. Maybe we need to have some kind of talk about how much money can people make? Should people give back? How can we give back? Taxes and things like that. If you really study into the system, I think there is some of that stuff being addressed, a lot of that stuff being addressed. But these kids don't. They just want, anyway, you know how they are. They want free things. They want things to be handed to them. You can do a lot in life if you work and you find the right thing. Now, maybe we need to address the type of jobs. Maybe we need better economy. Maybe we need more job market. Maybe we need different types of jobs for these kids, for kids who are not good at this, or not that smart, not that ambitious. Like, find something to where we can bridge the gap to where people can really have the kind of life that they need, and they don't need to fall back on this subversive evil ideology that promises things that'll never happen, and demonstrably obvious system that never worked in so many countries. Horrible evil system that killed hundreds of millions of people, right? And it always comes down to a dictator. Communism, there's always a dictator. There's always the government. The communists always fall back on they say the capitalism, the government is evil, but then they need a government to enforce their bullshit, which is seriously stupid. Goes on and on, man. But this is it. This is the modern left. The modern left is it's just messed up, and it's hand in hand with feminism. So if you're talking about the modern left from the red pill perspective, that's what it is. It's hand in hand with feminism. It's hand in hand with this bullshit, right? And these weirdo lefties, these weirdo white knights and male feminist allies, and they're just doing it so they can get in. They're just doing it so they can have that in. They're doing it so they can, and it's like, no, I'd rather suffer I'd rather suffer for the truth than succeed with a lie. And this is what they're doing. They're succeeding with a lie. Anyway, I just want to make this video and talk about that. I think that's all I got to talk about for today. Appreciate you listening. It's been Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.